It's taken a lot to get here today, but I'm here. I am dog sitting for 2 dogs, and right now I have 4 dogs in my home, and it's very crazy at any given time. So if you hear some weird sound, it's probably them. Letting go. We're talking about letting go. Today, we're going to talk about letting go. See, that's my little guy. He's in his kennel. And he's like getting crazy with it because he's trying to get comfortable in it right now. So lots of racket. So a lot of racket. Today's topic is about letting go and life transitions. So let's go ahead and dive right in. One of the hardest parts of any life transition isn't the change itself. It's the letting go. Even for those of us who embrace change, it can be painful to have to let go of what no longer fits. Even when we've undergone a lot of change and transformation already in our lives, it's still so challenging. And I just wonder, why is it so hard to let go of what no longer is aligned in our lives, of what no longer fits? I've shared in my videos about burnout, which I'll link the playlist in the description below, that I've been recovering and healing from working in a corporate job that turned into a toxic work environment. It wasn't always a toxic work environment, it just turned into one. And it's been 90 days since I put in my resignation. And that final decision to leave was made about 2 months prior to resigning. But my intuition, it was telling me that it was time to let go about 6 months prior to that. It took me time to open up to the idea that maybe it was time to leave my job so that I could rest and recover, to let go of everything that I'd worked for. I had to open my heart up to the possibility of a new reality. I had to leave one thing to be able to receive something better. It's difficult to accept that what we've invested in and what we've put our time and energy into is done. We've harvested all that we could, and it's just done. Maybe we didn't harvest what we wanted to, and now it's just time to move on. You know, it's understandable to feel sadness and loss when we reach the crossroads of figuring, do we continue our active investment, or is it time to detach and remove our energy from whatever it is? It could be a relationship, a lifestyle, a career. It could be all those things. It's important to acknowledge what feels like a loss and to be able to express our sadness or our disappointment over it. What you feel that you lost is deeply personal, but it could be along the lines of something that didn't work out for us the way we thought it would, something that we thought we wanted and we got, and then we realized that it wasn't aligned. It could be an undesired change in circumstances. It could be mourning the death of who or what we used to be or have. I know for me, I've lost and grieved a chapter in my life that has shaped me for years. Because the truth is, I not only have lost and grieved the role I played at my job and my workplace, but I also have gone through a separation as well as losing my mom 2.5 years ago. Though it takes time, at the major turning points in life, we're being called to open up to and prepare for what's next for us. To do that, inevitably, there will be people, places, things, and circumstances that we'll have to let go of. Now, I just talked about feelings of grief and of loss. And as if that's not hard enough, we still need to come to the tough realization that it's time to let go of the past and of what once was. And then we have to come to the actual acts of letting go, like putting in your resignation, filing for separation, going through divorce, burying a loved one. And then from there, there's this feeling of, well, now what? What is there left of the life that I'd known, of the person that I once was? The now what phase is that feeling of, okay, I've had some serious losses and I've accepted those. And so what now? What do I do now? And there's trepidation in that space because you're beginning to reinvent yourself and create something new in your life, but you're not really ready yet. So there's a lot of pondering in that now what phase. Eventually we move into the what's next stage, where we begin to feel more energy and more hope and more readiness to take aligned action. And the truth is, all of these phases and stages of letting go, they can happen simultaneously, but it helps the healing process to pinpoint where you might be at that present moment. Because you can give yourself grace and honor where you are in the present and acknowledge the beauty of it. If you're sensing a tide of change coming in and asking, is there anything that I can do to make this letting go part of transitions easier? Well, there are a couple of things to consider. So the first one, I'm going to share 4. The first one is to be aware that you will be resistant to letting go, or the changes that are just being put on you. Okay, you're going to be resistant to those. But having an awareness that you will be naturally resistant will actually help you to be more open to the letting go process. Number 2, if there's anywhere in your life where you feel like it would be easier for you to take charge and release something sooner than later, do it. If it's deciding to clear out your closet of old things, just do it. If it's a relationship that's been waning, maybe it's easier to decide to let it go now than later. And the third one is to get guidance, whether you spend dedicated time in stillness, accessing your own intuition, or to help you gain clarity, or if it's seeking the guidance of a counselor, a coach, to integrate changes, it will help you to move forward instead of getting stuck. And then the fourth thing is to open up your heart. Open your heart up to yourself and to your life. Generating a loving energy within yourself, open your heart to what life wants to bring into your life next, and to forgiving what was before, and to all that you've been and all that you've done. Because with an open heart, your intuition will tell you what's no longer serving you and what is time to let go and release. And then I encourage you to write it down in a dedicated letting go section of a notebook so you can review for recurring themes and help you make sense of what might not make sense at the moment. But looking back now at the burnout, the lack of support in a toxic work environment, my exhaustion, I can see now that my intuition was preparing me for a new chapter long before I was ready to embrace it. So yeah. It takes time to open up to the possibility of a new reality. And while I could tell myself that I stayed longer than I should have, a more loving truth is that when the timing was right, I took courageous action. And now, 3 months later, it's taking strength and fortitude to carry onward, to let go, for real, forgiving the past, allowing for a new reality and version of myself to emerge. I've been having fun in the now what phase, and I can feel that it's now time to focus on the what's next. Where and in what will I invest my energy in now? And how will I use my energy? I'm feeling more excitement about the possibility and manifesting my new desires. I've learned that every major transition asks us to release something that we've outgrown. And while letting go can feel like an ending, it's also about making space. Space for healing, which I've also done a video on. I'll link that one. Space for alignment. Space for a new version of ourselves that can't fully emerge while still holding on to the old one. I can now honestly say that letting go gives us the room to become our true selves, a more satisfying, authentic version of who we are. What about you? Are you a highly sensitive and intuitive woman going through a life transition too? Is there something in your life that you're feeling like you need to let go of so you can open to receive what life wants to fulfill for you. As I create safe space community of like-minded women, I'd love to hear from you as to what possibly resonates here, and I'd like you to leave me a comment below. But for now, I thank you for being here, and if you found this content helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel so that YouTube can help me reach my audience. And I'll catch you in the next vid.